Welcome everyone to the April 18th, 2019 meeting of the Delaware County Board of Commissioners. And I'd like to ask our county prosecutor if she would lead us in the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. I'm Barb Lewis, President. To my left is our Vice President, Commissioner Jeff Benton. To my right, fellow Commissioner Gary Merrill. Our Administrator today is Dawn Houston, and our Clerk, Jennifer Walraven. We can begin.
Resolution number 19-356, in the matter of approving the electronic record of proceedings from regular meeting held April 15th, 2019.
So moved.
Second. Discussion, vote.
Vote on motion 19-356. Mr. Merrill.
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis.
Aye.
Mr. Benton.
Aye.
We do not have any public comment today.
Well, you know what? I think it would be great if our county prosecutor, we would really like to welcome her today and thank her for coming over. And I'd like to congratulate you, and I know we all would, on the choice of Central Committee the other night, and we're very happy to have you as our new county prosecutor.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that, and I look forward to working with the commissioners, obviously, but also just serving our county. I'm excited to be where I'm at, and like I said at the meeting, the best really is yet to come, and I'm confident I can take our office there.
Oh, we are too. Any comments?
I met with all the candidates earlier in this process, and one of the things I suggested to our new prosecutor is attend some of our meetings, and she took that to heart. I think you attended about half the meetings after that, and I was visiting one of the townships about 3 or 4 weeks ago, and guess who was there?
Oh, my God.
And so she's our new prosecutor is obviously taking this job very seriously, and I look forward to working with you.
Yeah, I would also like to congratulate you. Well-deserved appointment, and look forward to working with you many years into the future. Also would like to comment that just make everyone aware that she is a graduate of Dublin Kaufman in my son's class.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's great to see a Kaufman grad doing so well, another Kaufman grad doing so well.
Thank you.
So
Thank you all very
congratulations.
much. Thank you.
Oh, that's great. Let us know if we can be of any help. Thank you so much for coming. Okay.
Next, we have Mr. Will London is here. He is the Public Affairs Liaison with Treasurer Mr. Sprague's office.
Okay.
Good morning.
Welcome.
All right.
Well, thank you so much for having me. As I was telling them, I look forward to coming to the County Commissioner's office here every time I'm in Delaware because of how beautiful the Carnegie Library is. I think it's a fantastic use for the Carnegie Library. But like she said, I am Treasurer Sprague's Public Affairs Liaison for Central Ohio. I'm here to be your resource with the Treasurer's office. If you have any questions whatsoever or any comments for Treasurer Sprague, I'm happy to relay them. And then I will also be happy to explain any of the programs that are already in place in the Treasurer's office. We'll be rolling out some new programs as well as revamping the ones that are currently in place. The financial literacy program run through the Treasurer's office is going through a top-down complete rebuilding with a director-level position, and they're currently doing that. We're also rolling out Results Ohio, which will be a pay-for-success model of public financing that should allow for more flexibility in small projects that should allow communities within the state to pilot projects to address issues in their communities that may then be applicable on a much larger scale across the state. I'm happy to leave my information, and if there's anything that I can ever do to help, please let me know, and I'm happy to do so.
Oh, that's great. Any?
I just thank you for coming.
My pleasure.
We honestly don't work with the Treasurer's office, the State Treasurer's office a whole lot, but we're always interested in new ways of improving doing things. So.
And Treasurer Sprague would certainly like to change that. I know that he is focused on a more outward-facing Treasurer's office across the state. We are not the most high-profile state office, but we do have a lot of programs that can help a lot of people. And certainly the function of the Treasurer's office is important to everyone in the state, and we hope to have a public presence.
You might send us contact information so we have you available on our phones should something come up.
Absolutely, I'm happy to leave my card with you, and if there's anything else that I can do or provide, please let me know.
We did join is it the open checkbook? What is it?
Yes.
Right, right.
We're very excited about that as we
Yeah.
continue to roll that out. I think we've yet to hear anyone be upset with more information for the citizens.
Right.
So, and we're continuing to improve that website as well to make sure that it's as usable as possible for as many people as possible.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much for coming, though.
Yeah.
My pleasure, thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay.
Resolution number 19-357, in the matter of approving purchase orders and now certificates and payments of warrants in batch number CM APR 0417 and memo transfers in batch number MT APR 0417.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion vote?
Vote on motion 19-356. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Resolution number 19-358, in the matter of approving travel expense request.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion vote?
Vote on motion 19-358. Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Resolution number 19-359, in the matter of accepting and awarding the bid to the Trident Security LLC for invitation to bid number 19-01, professional security services for Delaware County.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Morning, Brian Gallagher, Director of Safety and Security. This is a request to accept and award the bid to Trident. John Melvin, Chief Deputy Balzer, and I went through the bids, and after going through them, several discussions, met a couple of times, we decided to continue with Trident. Their rates are going to remain the same, so it should be noted that, we've been going on at either the same or lesser rate for what will be over 12 years. So, they've stepped up the game. Things are improving. They've done some recent changes, some recent hires. So it's definitely going in the right direction. So we thought that with all that collectively together, combined with, what was given to us from the other, people that bid, that was the best choice.
Now, this reflects the staffing that we agreed to at the courthouse?
Yes,
Since there was some question about that.
Yes, sir, it stays the same.
Vote?
Vote on motion 19-359. Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Resolution number 19-360, in the matter of setting date and time for requests for proposals for transportation services for Delaware County.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion?
Good morning, Commissioners. Steve Sikora here on behalf of Job and Family Services and Director Anderson. I'm here to present to you we would like to set a date and time for a public information session for our request for proposal for our transportation services. That would be held on, what we're proposing would be held on May 1st at 10 o'clock in the Hayes Building.
Okay. Vote?
Vote on motion 19-360. Mrs. Lewis?
Aye.
Mr. Benton?
Aye.
Mr. Merrill?
Aye.
Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
Brings to us to administrator reports.
I have nothing to report today, thank you.
Okay. I believe Commissioner
turn?
Merrill is first.
I feel almost guilty going first because I know Commissioner Benton loves to talk about golf. So I'm going to pass
Since when does that happen?
I'm going to pass the baton as you talk about legends, fair?
All right, all right.
Okay. And keep that in mind and return the favor
All
someday.
right. If we talk about women's softball, I won't bring it up. I'll let you go.
Speaking of that, the University of Oklahoma women's played for the national championship this weekend in women's gymnastics.
No women's gymnastics, okay.
We had a land bank meeting yesterday. It went well as we try to get things kind of organized properly, and there's still a few things to be done on that. But we're making progress, and once we get things a little better organized, I'm looking forward and excited about all the land bank can do to really improve some of our structures here in the county. So,
Right, and Treasurer Peterson's doing a really nice job of leading that.
Yep.
He's initiated, I don't know, 14, something like that, tax foreclosures, properties that need attention. And several of them have been resolved, sold, which is the preferable solution. So that, it is moving forward, and we're having discussions about the jail, transferring that, and some other properties in town and outside town, so.
Identifying the attorney that will represent land bank and the insurance, et cetera, et cetera. Those are things that we're just
Yeah.
working through to get in
Yeah,
shape.
so very encouraging.
Boy, that's great.
The only other thing I have is, I had the privilege of a 911 hour on Tuesday, and I want to thank Katie, who had to put up with me for that hour, Kim, who was next door to Katie, and indirectly had to put up with me for that hour, and Bailey, who was replacing Katie when she, as they passed baton, they changed shifts. Found it very helpful, very informative, and I always am impressed with the passion and the quality of the people here in the county and the job. And obviously, I'm speaking specifically about 911. I could generalize to other departments, but certainly true of 911. And Katie has been there 4.5 years. She enjoys the job. And my observation is she does it very well. So, but thank you to all three of them for putting up with me.
Yeah, I'll just continue on that. I spent an hour, and I know Commissioner Lewis did as well, but I think we all spent an hour down there, and it was a real eye-opener. They are very professional, very well-trained. They also have a lighthearted side, I think, to kind of keep things loose. They have a lot of fun.
But in a professional way.
But, yes, they're very professional, very well-trained, and very busy. When you think of 911, you think of, okay, a lot of downtime and then an occasional call that's sheer terror, sheer panic. But they do a lot of dispatching, they do a lot of tracking of other things and training and so on. So they're very busy. It was interesting. I confirmed, they asked them, they don't get very many text requests for 911. I talked to them about that. They still don't get very many, and I said, well, that's good. Call if you can, text if you can't. They do get the occasional prank calls, as you would expect, can I have a pizza delivered, or my pizza didn't come with the right toppings, sort of thing. But again, very, very impressive, very professional, very well-trained, good attitude, and do a nice job. Let's see, Land Bank we talked about. Morpsey State of the Region is this afternoon, or over lunch today. It's always interesting to see what's going on. Business retention, the Economic Development Group did a business retention survey again, and it had some very interesting results, not terribly surprising, I would say. Of the respondents, none of them were contracting, or shrinking, or laying off. All of them were the majority were expanding, and the majority were hiring additional people. Their number one issue is recruiting and retaining employees, which,
Wow.
I'm sure, again, not much of a surprise. We know that's a challenge. The housing is an issue for employees and so on. So again, we all know that most of our job growth occurs from existing businesses. It's always good to bring in new businesses, but most of the job growth does occur with the existing businesses. So it's great that we're keeping in touch and learning what is most important to them. And lastly, I have to talk about sports, as Commissioner Merrill alluded. My favorite sports topic is the Columbus Blue Jackets. They swept the Tampa Bay Lightning, the Bolts, 4-0, which is the biggest historic upset in NHL history. So it's really a huge deal. So congratulations to the Blue Jackets. It's great, great to have them do so well. And oh, by the way, we did go to the Legends Luncheon, and Commissioner Merrill and I had our picture taken with Jack Nicklaus. So, also Judy Rankin is the honoree. Dale Earnhardt Jr. was supposed to be there, but he had a family emergency, so he didn't make it. But it was really neat, just a great event. And I sat at the table with the Muirfield people, and I kept reminding them that, most of that course is in Delaware County. And they were all laughing, of course, and they agree. And we even talked to Jack Nicklaus about that, and he went through the history of the
What
background.
Jack said, I trust his information is correct. It should be, more so than ours.
Yeah.
The clubhouse was built in Franklin County because Delaware County was dry.
Yeah, the Concord Township was dry at the time, and he said they had the hilltop where the clubhouse is, they had to build it up by 30 feet because they wanted the view over the course to be up above. So they had to build it up by 30 feet and in Franklin County just so they could not have a dry situation. So anyway, but it was very nice. You know, that course is a huge benefit to Delaware County. The tournament is a great event.
Well, it's considered by most, other than the four majors,
To
the
be
next,
the next best,
Yes.
and it's always ranked among the best run. And I think they have 800 employees during tournament time, like 150 otherwise, and they'll have 3,000 volunteers. So anyway, so that's my golf topic for today.
Okay. I'm actually doing my calling this afternoon, so I'll get to meet everybody. I'll get reports on YouTube. Yeah.
Yeah, they offered me to answer calls, and I said, I don't think you want me answering calls.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
I
Yeah.
assume they were kidding because.
Yes, they were kidding, they were kidding.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. And I want to thank Sean Miller, our EMA director, for being on a NACO, National Organization of Counties call for me this past week, and the subject was emergency management, and so I felt he was the best one to be on the call, and I was right. He said that Congress is working, or NACO is working with Congress on the National Flood Insurance Program reauthorization, because that's set to expire at the end of May. And NACO is urging Congress to reach an agreement on disaster supplemental funding. And they're also tracking community development block grants and disaster recovery funding. And cuts, he said, were being watched within Homeland Security funding to include Emergency Management Performance Grant, which could impact Delaware County. So I'll have him continue to follow up on that. He said they discussed hazard mitigation planning and its importance, and Sean added that we are almost done with our update on mitigation planning. And they discussed the update to FEMA's strategic plan, which may increase hazard mitigation funding substantially. The importance of flood insurance was stressed, and he said, I didn't know this, that FEMA's individual assistant caps are only $36,000 per household, not any higher than that. And boy, with flood damage, you'd really get into major costs, so that was interesting. And finally, the debris management plan was discussed. Having an appropriate plan in place can generate additional federal assistance, and he's checking with Ohio EMA on our plan regarding this. So that was really helpful, and that's all I've got. Do we have, I don't think we don't have any executive session.
Nope.
Okay, and so we are adjourned.
Just come back, I'll put here.
Oh, yeah, just stick it in there, yeah.